Hello, everybody. So today I want to talk about a recent interview of Andrew Dudum that was shared with me on Twitter. And, as you can see this video, the YouTube algorithm, in my view, really doesn't do that good of a job because since December 9, this video has been seen 31 times. And so it's kind of crazy because it's a very high quality video about hymns. And this is a great interview, especially if you're a founder. Anyways, given that this is a recent interview of a CEO, we've learned new stuff. There's a few things that I want to update you on with hymns. And if you're interested in this video, which I really recommend, very interesting, they start talking about hymns at minute 40, right? The beginning of the video is all about Andrew Dudum, the CEO, and his life, but it's the hymns part begins at minute 40 if you're interested. So let's get into the interview and what I think are kind of the new gems or new ideas. So, or repeated ideas, because we've heard the calls and we've heard the CEO talk many times about where he thinks this is headed. But, anyways, what are some of the things he said in that interview? First of all, healthcare. Healthcare will look more like a consumer brand in the next 10 to 20 years, and that's exactly what Hims and Hers are going after. They want to be one of the next consumer brands in healthcare, and it's true that we don't have a consumer brands in healthcare today. It's the local hospital, typically a last name in your area, and they're gonna try to own every healthcare, but they can't do that anymore with technology. With technology, you can create a highly scalable healthcare brand for the whole nation, and that is what Hims and Hers is doing. He discussed telehealth, lobbying against telehealth, and how there's been a lot of lobbying, and there's a lot of entrenched interests, and especially in the last 10 years, there's been a lot of lobbying against telehealth, and he explains about how TDOC has had to fight a bunch of that lobbying because TDOC, of course, is going through insurance, and TDOC actually had to sue the state of Texas to be able to operate. Now, HIMSS doesn't have these problems because it doesn't deal with reimbursement. You can't get HIMSS reimbursed, which is why I believe HIMSS has been able to grow much faster than, say, a Teladoc. But nonetheless, the CEO is saying that regulation is now catching up, and he is saying that it's becoming more and more clear to the regulator that telemedicine is the way of the future. Telemedicine, telehealth is becoming obvious, and he states that with new technology, it's especially becoming obvious with new techs. And of course, he mentions the Apple Watch briefly in that interview, but I want to add that there's more than just the Apple Watch. So the Apple Watch measures all of these metrics in you, and we can easily imagine how then it's going to be easy for your Apple ecosystem to link to an app. Maybe you can link the IMSS app to your data in your Apple Watch, and maybe you can have a doctor review your heart health, and maybe you can get a heart medication recommended, or you can get a visit recommended. But that's not it, right? There's other startups that do this. I want to show this one, which I think is also promising. It's private, of course, but it's called the Oura Ring. What it does is it measures over 20 biometrics like heart, body temperature, heart rate, blood oxygen, etc. And it's just a ring that you wear. It's a 7-day battery, and it measures a bunch of stuff on you. Same, all of this data can be used to treat you by doctors, and I'm even going to put This is from another company I'm studying right now, Oddity Labs, and what they have is they use the camera on your phone to recommend makeup and perfect tone through hyperspectral vision and through the quality of vision algorithm and the quality of cameras. I believe it's obvious we can imagine in the future things like dermatology treatments just by, you just film your skin with your phone, and then the AI can say, well, you might have some dermatology issues, you might have some things, you might need to get some things fixed. We could easily imagine, I don't know, like a beauty mark scanner, and you scan the beauty mark, and it can predict whether there's any risks of cancer or other issues going on with your skin just through the vision of your camera on your phone. So these technologies are moving forward so fast that it's obvious, in my view, it's obvious that the doctor will be living in your phone at some point. And I think the more interesting, more concrete question that the interview asked, which is never asked about, right? Because HIMS is, we all know that HIMS is outside of insurance, but he specifically asked, what about the B2B business? What about selling HIMS in bulk to businesses? Or another way to ask that question is, how could HIMS infiltrate employer insurance? And Andrew Dudum had a lot to say about that. And that what that tells me is that that's part of the business plan. That's part of a long-term plan. He actually said that's part of the plan over the next few years. Is how do you get the employers to offer HIMS as a benefit? Offering HIMS as a benefit. Offering what I call healthcare as a benefit and not just sick care. Currently, employers only offer sick care as a benefit, what most people call healthcare. What I call sick care is what employers offer. If HIMS is healthcare, maybe employers could offer HIMS. And he explains this, and I'll walk you through the argument here. So the majority of patients that comes to HIMS, they already have corporate insurance, right? Their employer already pays for insurance for them. They have offering like T-Docs, but they just don't have the time to figure out how to use them. And if you're a professional, you're a busy professional, and let's imagine you have a family on top of that, how long do you have to figure out actually how health plans work? Plans are wildly complex. I've covered that multiple times in my videos. Sometimes you have a plan for your health insurance, your doctor, and then you're going to have a different plan for your pharmacy, your prescriptions. They don't communicate. They don't work together. Finding a provider is literally hell, because you gotta go on a website that was designed like it's 1999, and the websites haven't been updated since 1999. They're super slow, and then you have to call, and they use acronyms everywhere, so you don't know if it's in network or out of network, because they have dozens of different acronyms. And oftentimes, when you go see the doctor, you may have to pay out of pocket. Sometimes you don't have to pay out of pocket. You think it's covered. No, it's not covered. 6 months later, 6 months, not 6 months, more like a month later, you get a letter in the mail saying you owe $13.50. And if you don't pay the $13.50, you may be sent to collections, right? Which has happened many, many times. If you watch Dave Ramsey, sometimes that happens. Sometimes someone gets their credit score ruined because the health system is not able to figure out the exact cost that you gotta pay, and they send you a bill for $13. Anyways, many times seeing a doctor will be $50-ish out of pocket, sometimes more. Right? And so then it has you wondering, why do you have insurance? And this is what Dudum says, the average smart person has a hard time figuring out great healthcare and how to take advantage of great healthcare. And because of these issues, folks prefer to come to HIMS and pay $20, $30, $50 out of pockets to HIMS, because HIMS is very easy to understand and you don't have to deal with the hell that is dealing with the complexity of insurance and getting things reimbursed. HIMS was designed as a healthcare company that customers love to use, and you get that with the marketing, you get that with the ease of the app, you get that with the simplicity of a product's offering. Customers love to use HIMS, and you see this in the numbers, right? With the long-term retention rate 2 years out at more than 85%, with well over 90% of the customers being recurring revenue subscribers. So Dudum goes on saying that Americans on average have a $2,000 deductible before the insurance picks up the bill. What that means is that there's almost $200 a month that most Americans, in their 20s and in their 30s, who are never going to reach that $2,000 deductible, people are somewhat comfortable to spend up to $200 a month. It's implied, right? It's implied in this amount. They're somewhat susceptible, implied, to pay out of pocket for $200 a month, which would be roughly, 3 to 4. I'm going to say it's close to 3 to 4 treatments from HIMS. And most people, of course, wouldn't need 3 to 4 treatments for HIMS, but you may need 2, and thus you just go through HIMS and get your treatment through HIMS and see your provider through HIMS, see your insurance, see your prescriptions, your pills coming in the mail, and you have your follow-ups with someone that just exclusively works with HIMS. And that means that most people may be comfortable spending up to $200 a month on their health on top of what is is covered by their provider at work, by their insurer at work. And what is the goal over the next few years is maybe go to employers and say, hey, your employees already use this, right? Your employees are already using HIMSS. Why would you not offer HIMSS as an additional benefit to sick care insurance? I added that, right? That's what I call sick care insurance. So you could have an employer provide regular mainstream health insurance, and then on top of that, you provide a HIMSS and HERS benefit, where maybe you get 2 treatments covered through HIMSS and HERS. And the goal as the company gets bigger is for them to go to big employers and say, hey, why don't you offer this as a benefit in addition to sick care insurance? Because this your customers will actually use. This your customers already use. This your customers really, really enjoy. And you could enter the quote-unquote reimbursed market this way, through this kind of a back door where you're not selling insurance, but you're selling this new vision of health insurance to employers. And I think it's a very interesting idea. Of course, they don't need it for growth right now. They absolutely don't need it for growth. But to know that this may be an option in the future, I think is bullish on HIMSS. And HIMSS has ran up a little bit, yeah, right, compared to 6 weeks ago. But I'm still buying the stock. I still find that it's an inexpensive company. It is the cheapest company in my coverage universe. So this was not investment advice. This is just entertainment, no investment advice. Please like, please subscribe, please follow me on X if you can, and yeah, please help me not be, because this is crazy. That's such a good interview. Only has 31 views, so your likes really matter. Anyways, no investment advice. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.